Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm taking a look at the Acebeam P15 tactical flashlight. Let's check it out. I'll tell you, the Acebeam P15 comes in a pretty nice box here. It has a magnetic closure, pretty nice product shot of the flashlight, but on the back, we don't have any of the information, no lumens or runtime information on the back, but that's fine. I'll go over all that a little bit later on in this video. So let's take this bad boy out, and you can see the P15 right here. Also comes with a typical user manual, comes with a charging cable here, USB type A to their proprietary charging port. Yes, this version right here does come with a remote switch, warning information about the battery, toss that to the side, and then your typical warranty information. And then inside this bag here, it comes with a lanyard, 2 spare O-rings, 2 M-lock screws, 2 M-lock nuts, 2 Allen wrenches, and I believe that's it, but you guys can see all of that in the bag right there. And now once you get to the bottom here, that's not the end. You lift out this little foam piece, and on the very bottom here is where you're gonna find all of the accessories for your weapon mounted options. Now it doesn't come with all of this. Some of these are options. I did get all the optional accessories, but I just wanted to show you that there is a dedicated spot for all the accessories at the bottom of the box. That's pretty cool. And now let's get our first look at the P15 from Acebeam here. I'll give you guys a nice close-up of this bad boy right here. And while you guys are checking this out, let's talk about some of the features. So the P15 has a maximum output of 1700 lumens and a max beam distance of 330 meters. It also has a peak beam intensity of 27,225 candela. And pushing out those 1700 lumens is a single SFT40 LED with a color temperature of 6500 Kelvin. The body's made of 7075 aluminum alloy and has a Type 3 hard anodized finish and has 5 lighting modes plus strobe. And controlling those lighting modes is a single metal tail switch. Inside, there's a 3.6 volt, 3100 milliamp hour 18650 lithium ion battery. And as you can see here, it is a proprietary battery. The P15 has an impact resistance of 1.5 meters and is IP68 dust and waterproof, meaning it's completely dustproof and it's submersible in up to 6 feet of water. Alright, so what about the dimensions here? Its length is 5.15 inches, has a head diameter of exactly 1 inch, and a tube diameter of 0.91 inches. And according to my weight test, it comes in at 3.48 ounces without the battery and 5.4 ounces with the battery. And right now on the screen, I'll throw up the graph of lumens and runtime from ultra low all the way up to turbo. And you can see that turbo is 1700 lumens, has a runtime of 1 hour and 45 minutes, has a maximum throw of 330 meters and that 27,225 candela. You can also see that ultra low is 2 lumens. I love a flashlight that has a moonlight mode of 1 lumen, but ultra low at 2 lumens, completely acceptable. So let's check out the P15 here. And the first thing I noticed when I first took this out of the box was its unusual pocket clip right here. But don't get me wrong, I think this looks pretty awesome, but it's more form over function in my opinion. Not because the pocket clip doesn't have plenty of retention, which it does. It just sits so far down on the flashlight here. You can see once it's in your pocket, you have about 1.5 inches, I'd say, sticking up over the top of your pocket. And that's just because of the design here. And it has to be this way because this pocket clip is screwed into this little mounting plate here, and it does have multiple functions. So I understand why this has to be this way. To me, it's just not extremely functional as a pocket clip. But technically, this pocket clip does do the job. And right there at the end of the pocket clip, you can see there's your hole for your lanyard. And now let's take a look right down the barrel at that single SFT40 LED right there. There you go. And I really do like the crenellated bezel right here. It's not super sharp. And you can see that lens sits down pretty far in there. So I like this. And now let's take a look at this metal tail switch right here. I do like this. It's flat across, so you can tail stand it, which is always a huge plus in my book because I tail stand my lights all the time. But then surrounding that tail switch, you can see it does have a locking mechanism right here. And that locking mechanism is to lock in the charging cable or your remote switch if you want to. Or if you go with the quick function switch, like you see right here, it does fit in there. And once it's in there, just lock it into place and that sucker's not coming out. And as much as I don't like a proprietary charging system as the P15 has, at least they made this port multifunctional where it does accept the charger, this quick function switch, and the remote switch, as you can see right here. And if you're just charging this at home, I don't think you have to lock this in. If you're out in the field or whatever, it might be a good idea to lock this in so the charging cable doesn't get disconnected from the flashlight. And now that I have this plugged in, you can see it does have a single LED right here on the side. It glows green when it's fully charged and red when it's charging. And now let's take a look at these tactical accessories that comes with the P15 here. So all of the accessories that come standard here, of course, is the charging cable, the remote pressure switch right here. Right here is the mount for the remote pressure switch, so it does come with that. Just fits in something like that. And then it comes with the M-LOK rail mount right here. All these other accessories are optional, such as the tactical ring right here. And as I already said, if you want to go with the tactical ring, you just remove the pocket clip, these two screws right here. It does come with an Allen key, and then you just plop this bad boy on right there. So that is awesome. And then I already showed you the quick function switch right here. This is a $7.80 charge. The tactical ring, forgot to tell you, is $6.90. Let's put that back in its slot. And then the only other optional accessory is the Picatinny rail right here. And this is $7.90 if you want to go with this rail system here. But like I said, I do like that everything has a dedicated slot. Everything but the remote switch here doesn't have a dedicated spot inside of the box here. It just lays on top of everything once it's in there. It doesn't have a nice little area to go, but whatever, it fits in the box. Let's move on. So let's go over the UI here. It's a single click on and a single click off. And it does have a memory, so if it's on, it will remember its last known setting if you click it back on. And now once it's on, if we press and hold, it will cycle through low, medium, and high, low, medium, and high. Now to get the turbo from either off or on, just double click. There's our 1700 turbo. And then click it off, and it does have the ultra low 2 lumen mode. Press and hold from off, and you can barely see it on my desk, but there is our 2 lumen ultra low, which I absolutely love. Now to get the strobe, triple click, there's our strobe light, and it does have a lockout function. You have to press and hold for about 5 seconds. It should flash 3 times. 1, 2, 3. All right, now it is locked out, as you can see, and to get it back, press and hold, I believe for about 3 seconds. Flashes again, and now we're back on. So you can see it has a pretty simple UI, which is appreciated, but I want to test out these optional accessories here, at least this quick function switch right here. So let's get that mounted on and lock it in. So this is supposed to give us easy access or quick access to turbo or strobe. So you can see now we have 2 buttons on the back here. So I have it programmed to strobe, so we can still turn the light on normal, go through our low, medium, high settings, and then instant access to turbo with this optional button right here, which I think is fantastic. So this port is interesting because, once again, I don't like that it's a proprietary charging system, but I do like the fact that they made this port compatible with a couple different accessories here, which makes this flashlight very modular and at the same time very versatile. But as much as I like this quick function switch right here, it's not perfect. So you saw I had this programmed to strobe, but you can only program one function at a time, meaning I can only program strobe or turbo, and it can only do one at a time, which it just leaves me wishing that this was a multi-quick function switch where it did strobe and turbo. Maybe if I just click it once and there's turbo and then hold it down for strobe, almost like you see here, I think that would have been awesome. Instead, to switch the modes on this switch from off, we have to click and hold this tail button here for 10 seconds. So it's going to go past our lockout. You're going to see the 3 flashes. Hold it down until it starts turbo right there, and I'll click it off. Now we just programmed this switch here to turbo. So you see what I'm saying here? I wish we can program this to turbo and then hold it down for strobe, but unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. Yes, I know we can still access strobe and turbo from the normal tail switch right there if we triple click or double click. I just wish we can program both into this optional switch right here. And it's the same deal here for this remote switch. Let me get this on, lock it in. So right now I had it on turbo. If I hit the button, there is turbo, and there's no way to access strobe unless I do the same thing. I hold this down for 10 seconds. And now this remote switch here is programmed for strobe. This is cool, but I wish you can do turbo and strobe from this remote switch as well. Unless I'm doing something wrong, but I can't figure out a way to get turbo and strobe on this remote switch at all. All right, so now on the screen, I'm gonna pop up the results from my heat test. I let the light run for 3 minutes and you can see the results at the head and the body after 1 minute, after 2 minutes, and then after 3 minutes. And those temperatures are completely normal. It actually ran a little bit cooler than expected. And now you can see the results of my turbo runtime test. You can see exactly when it started to step down from turbo and exactly when it stopped stepping down from turbo. All right, guys, so it's freaking cold out here. It's like 10 degrees, so I'm just gonna do a couple locations and get the heck out of here. So those trees in the back there are about 50 feet, 50 or 60 feet. And let's go to turbo. And all right, there we go. I'll tell you, this little thing has some impressive throw for such a small compact flashlight. It's really windy out here too, so if the wind is all on my speakers, I'm sorry about that. But there's turbo. And now let's go to low. Very nice. There's medium. And there's high. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's really windy. And there's turbo. You can see that nice focused hotspot. Has a huge spill area. I mean, look at that spill. That is insane. It's starting to snow out here too. We have a storm warning coming, and I'm out here freezing my you-know-what off. You can see my car there way in the distance. So this thing is pretty impressive. Cool white light, 6,500 degrees Kelvin. All right, let's move on. All right, now from here to the trees back there is about 206 feet. And you can see, not a problem at all. There's the soccer net. You can see down the field. You can almost even see the other soccer net down there. Very nice. I apologize for the snowflakes, guys. I only have limited time to do these videos. And unfortunately, it's right before a storm. I know it's windy, sorry about that, but you guys get the idea. I'm gonna move on and freezing. So just so you guys know, I live near Buffalo, New York, so I can definitely handle the cold. In fact, I like it, but those wind chills out there are in the negatives, and no. So 330 meters of throw out of this is pretty darn impressive. I mean, the head diameter here is only about an inch and 0.91 on the tube, 5.15 inches. So that's pretty impressive for a flashlight this size. It had a really nice focus hotspot, and that spill was awesome. It was a fairly large spill, so I can see everything around me. So I can see this light being very, very useful even indoors, especially since Acebeam is kind of gearing this towards a weapons mounted tactical flashlight anyways. Having this in a narrow corridor, I think would be awesome. And I really like how modular and versatile this flashlight is. Acebeam has its own little ecosystem going on with the P15, but at the same time, it's a proprietary charging system, so it kind of makes me wish that you can charge it with a USB Type-C charging cable, because then I don't have to carry around an extra cable. But with an ecosystem like the P15 here, not only does it use this port for the charger, it's also the remote switch and the quick function switch. So it kind of makes sense, but one thing that doesn't make sense and I don't like at all is the proprietary battery that Acebeam has in here. That means we can't just use any common 18650 that we might have laying around, especially for other flashlights. And while I have this open, I'm going to show you guys the head here. I'm not sure if you guys can see. Let me put it on auto focus. So you can see right there, it has a double coil system for the battery. That means it has 2 points of contact for the battery, and for a weapons mounted flashlight, it should be able to handle the recoil pretty good, especially having those 2 points of contact right there. And another thing I'm not the biggest fan of is this Pocket clip here. Once again, I understand why they made the pocket clip like this, because it can fit this little plate right here, which also has other uses, which are mainly to mount to weapons. But if you need to use it for a pocket clip, it can technically work. I just don't like how it sticks out about 1.5 inches out of your pocket. Maybe if they went with some kind of deep carry pocket clip where it was still bolted to the outside but went up and curled around, then we can get this entire flashlight into our pockets. I don't know, maybe that's something to work on, Acebeam. But other than those gripes, I really do like this as a tactical flashlight. As an EDC flashlight with this pocket clip, no, I mean, there's ways around that. You can put it in a holster, but remember, this doesn't come with a holster. You have to get an aftermarket holster for this bad boy. So we're right back to how cool is this pocket clip to carry in your pocket. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the Acebeam P15 tactical flashlight? Now if you want to check this out for yourself, I will have links below in my description box. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And go!